be scoffing for a bit of the start of this.
That's all right.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the internet, and welcome to another episode of the Polyhedron Collider Plays D&D. So tonight we have the Masters of Fate, and they are Andy Lewis as Arrakis the Sorcerer, Sid Gill as Cockwind the Rogue, Adam Moran as Sylfina the Druid, Derek Neal as Imnek the Warlock, and most importantly we have our benevolent DM Steve.
Benevolent, you say?
Well,
yeah, that's always made me laugh at.
We'll get to that.
No,
we'll get to that. So I'd like to apologise for having a social life and not being organised enough to sort out streaming remotely, which means tonight we'll need a super big recap to bring our dear viewers up to speed.
Oh yes, we're an episode behind, aren't we? Yes.
That's right. So this is actually episode 6 of the team facing the Legacy Shard. So, Steve, if you'd like to once again step into the torchlight, give us a recap and resume the story.
Okay. So the last one that was on stream was you guys coming back from Evermelt. So the last thing that everyone would have seen was you guys coming from Evermelt, seeing Vaelish Gant's attempts to take over the minds of the dwarves and the reindeer tribes of the barbarians, and you, following the lead of some smoke coming from the top of Kelvin's Cairn, you guys headed up to investigate, where you found a bunch of goblins on guard and entered into a cavern. So you went into the cavern. I should move the map to the correct one. And there you found a bunch of goblins inside, which were ready for you because a couple of them had escaped from their previous kind of attack. And you assaulted into this cave, which seemed to be a sort of complex similar to looked like it was some kind of dwarven construction, like an outpost on the top of the hill. You overcame the first lot of goblins who were in a room kind of ready for the assault. You seem to get rid of them quite easily. Then an ogre appeared, and Cockwind's use of ball bearings took him out of action. And it wasn't long after that point when Arrakis ran forward into another room where he found a bunch of cultists of Auril, who are all sitting around a table. And he jumped on the table and cast Thunderwave, thinking, "Yes, this will get rid of all of them." It didn't.
It almost did.
The priest cast Hold Person on Arrakis, and he got paralyzed, and then got beaten to a pulp by several of these cultists. At this point, everyone's trying to make the advance, but the cultists have pushed them back, and you guys retreated. Sylfina went down. Imnek turned himself invisible and grabbed Sylfina and ran out. Cockwind jumped into the shadows and dived into a side thing. And the last thing anyone saw was them grabbing Arrakis' unconscious body and dragging him out of the room. So, the last thing we heard was Imnek and Sylfina were heading outside the cave onto the mountainside, and Cockwind was heading basically off to one of the side passages. So I think the best thing we start with is Sylfina and Imnek. You have, well, what do you want to do? You've got out of the cave, you're outside, and you're outside on the side of Kelvin's Cairn.
Imnek was looking for somewhere, some sort of sheltered alcove or something out the way, a little way away from the entrance, where he could put Sylvanas down.
Okay.
Because he's thinking about going back in while he still has the invisibility.
You probably go about another 100 or 200 yards before you find something that's reasonably sheltered. Adam, have you got anything you in particular want to do? You're on 1 hit point and you are conscious, so
not really.
So what's your plan?
I have no idea.
Well, while I have the invisibility, I was gonna head back in and try and back up Cockwind a bit. But I'm pretty much out of everything and don't have enough hit points for a fight. So I'm not sure what I can do except
Didn't stop me.
critique his stealth style. Yeah. So I don't know if the Sylvanas can do anything.
Not really.
Like, heal yourself a chug a potion and then transform into some spider or something on my shoulder.
Turn into a bear and scare the crap out of them.
I'd have to basically blow all my spell slots to get at any kind of decent health rating. Is the problem.
How many spell slots have you got left?
1 level 2 and 4 level 1s.
I'm trying to think if it's worth asking for. Imnek asking for like use some sort of cure wounds or something, just so because I mean those
I've got
those
hit word,
cultists.
that's it.
Okay, yeah, that's not gonna be enough because those cultists hit pretty hard. So I'm just sort of thinking.
I mean, yeah, that's why I said I'd have to blow all to get any
definitely
shape
did.
where I don't die instantly.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, because I can't cast false life on myself right now. So those guys hit hard enough. I might go down if I'm unlucky. So yeah, okay. Well, probably best then if you stay out the way.
Yep.
And I'll at least try and keep an eye to Sid. But I can't offer much help beyond that to him.
Fair enough.
So Imnek, yeah, sort of Sylvana and I will kind of have this sort of brief conversation. I'll make sure he's okay and out of the way, and then I'll head back into the cave.
Okay. So I'll just deposit you just a little bit further like this, so we know where everywhere is. So what are you doing during this time, Adam? Are you taking a short rest, or
Might as well.
are you heading down the mountainside or something like that?
I hadn't really thought about it.
Think about it now. No pressure. Tick tock, tick tock.
Probably worth trying to have a short rest now if you can. Yeah. I mean, it might get interrupted. We don't know what's going to happen. So.
I mean, I can't get any spell slots back anyway, so it's basically to try and get
hit points.
Yeah. Oh, where's my hit die?
Or just play possum.
Or become a possum.
That would be quite cool. Literally play possum.
Yes.
There are no possums on D&D Beyond, apparently.
No.
Possums do not exist.
Or something.
I know you can be a possum. I can find stats for a possum. It's fine.
There you go. See, done. Do it.
I'll
Literally play possum.
I will use the wombat stats from Tomb of Annihilation.
Nice.
See, done.
Yeah.
You do have plenty of hit dice left because you didn't do any rest on your last short rest. So you do have hit dice left if you want to take a short rest.
Yeah, sure. What the fuck is my hit dice?
It's probably D8, isn't it?
Maybe.
Yeah, well,
it's got to be better than a D6, which is mine. For all the good that does me.
Okay, so a short rest is around about an hour, so we've got a little bit of time before you guys will be back in the action if nothing happens, of course. So, Imnek, you head back into the cave.
Of course.
Cockwind.
Hello. Right.
You're also in the cave. Now, you don't know where Imnek is at this point because he's invisible, so you have the faintest clue what's going on.
Is it greater invisibility you've got on you, Imnek?
No, that's quite
regular.
a high level spell. Yeah, just regular. I mean, it's good because it lasts longer, so I've got a full hour, pretty much.
Don't you tell all the girls? I last the full hour, ladies.
Hey.
Right.
Sid,
Okay.
what are you doing?
So I'm going to investigate this door.
Okay.
Is it open, shut, locked?
Yes. Sorry, it was open because the ogre had barged through it earlier.
Of course, I've trekked over the ogre. Right. Okay. So I'm going to mosey on into a little side room.
Okay.
There's another committee meeting.
Is there anything in this room, Steve? I presume this is where the ogre was, so there's probably a bit of detritus floating around. Is there
Yeah,
anything on the table of interest?
You're right. Detritus is probably a good way to describe it. It's obviously some kind of mini kitchen. It may have been something quite nice at some point, but now it's half the furniture's broken. There's like a table you can sit on. There's a little stove in the corner of the chimney that goes up. That's really about it, to be fair.
Okay. Is there anything that I can see or poke around in that might help? Either Arrakis in the long run or Sylvanas in the short term.
I think the only thing that's going to help Arrakis in the long run is a miracle.
Well, I'm thinking a big jar of Vaseline or something.
That would probably ease my passage, as it were.
Chocolate ice cream to make it better afterwards.
Well, how come you get the room with nobody in it and I got the fucking board meeting? That's just not fair.
We didn't check before we went through the door.
We didn't shoot through there either, but no, soft
We
casting.
knew I
Easy.
came from there. We'd already seen the ogre come out of it.
So Sid, all you can really see in there is like some food scraps, some rotten furs that the goblins may have used for a bed, and of course like a table and chairs in front of you.
Okay. I'm just going to carry on moseying through this little room.
Okay.
Am I in combat at the moment in terms of movement? Or
No, you can just move freely now.
all right. Okay, so I'm going to come to about here. I'm going to grab a chair.
Okay.
I'm going to fling it into this corridor.
Fuck
To see
is
if
this,
anything happens.
WWF?
Yeah, well, I want to stay hidden. So for the moment, I'm still hidden, and I'm slinging this chair into the corridor to see if it's
Okay.
what happens. Actually, in fact, is there any fire? Is there torches or something that's making this place lit up?
Yeah, so this place is lit up with torches, and in the corner of that room was like a stove with a fire burning on the stove as well to keep it warm in here as well.
Right, okay. I'm going to carry on with my chair idea. I'm going to throw the chair into the hallway.
Okay. So
I'm grabbing it and I'm flinging it against the wall as hard as a little halfling can. So it's more of a sort of a really puny shove, I suppose.
the chair batters against the wall. It doesn't shatter. It just like clatters against the wall, and in the silence, it just echoes.
Okay, so now I'm listening
That's it.
intently for any sort of.
And you hear absolutely nothing.
Right. Okay. In which case, I will carry on to the junction. I'm going to peer
They're all
around the
too
corner.
busy in the sex dungeon with me.
Well, that's it. Old Marsalis up there is getting all the fun. Right. Okay. So
there's a door to the north, which is you might as well say that's open as well, because that's the way. There's a door open which leads to some kind of bedroom. There's a door to your south as well.
okay. Is the bedroom lit up?
Yeah. Again, there's a small like stove fire in the corner to keep it warm. So there's a bit of light coming from that, and what you can basically see is like a large bed and some other odds and sods in there from this distance.
Okay. I'm gonna go and have a little peek. Go into that room, and do I need to investigate or have a bit of a hunt about? Or
there's not much really to see there. I mean, as I said, there's a large bed. There's a sack next to the bed, and then there's also those kind of odds and ends there as well.
what's in the sack? I'll go and have a look at the sack. I'm gonna have a peek in
The
there.
sack's got a bit of weight to it, and when you lift it open, it is well, it's Christmas time for El Cockwind, really, because it's full of coins and gemstones.
Oh well, result. Right.
Bastard.
Okay. Is there a quantities worth, or do I just haul it for now?
You can see there are several hundred silver pieces intersprinkled with some gold pieces, and every so often you come across a gemstone in there as well. It's just all been just thrown into this sack.
All right.
It takes some time to count it out and sort it from what you can see.
All right. So for the now, I will. I'll grab that. And is there anything else around there? Anything else I can see?
Not really much, to be fair. Most, as I said, a couple of flea-bitten animal skins used as rugs and what have you.
There's no sort of like potions or anything. Again, I'm constantly looking for anything that can help my compatriots.
No, nothing you can see is kind of much use. It's obviously this is you can work out this was probably the ogre sleeping area.
Okay.
So if you can imagine the kind of
Alright.
living standard an ogre would be used to.
Okay. So similar to Arrakis then.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Going to use this time to catch up. Pick his way carefully over the ball bearings that he knows were thrown there, and sort of try and catch up with Cockwind.
Okay, so basically you came in just as Cockwind is just looking for a sack, going, "Oh my." Ooh, right, and tying the sack up and going, "Click over his shoulder, Ravin."
Cockwind just hears from behind him through this low voice saying, "Good find, Cockwind."
What? What was that? Right. Okay. The walls are talking to me now. What's going on? I'm just gonna stand there a little bit confused. I'm not working out what's going on. So I'll start.
Don't worry, Cockwind.
I'll start walking into the hallway and clatter into an immovable object.
Don't worry, Cockwind. You're not going mad. I'm using magic the shadows to cover myself, but I can't offer you much help, I'm afraid, my friend.
That's fine. I will carry on hiding and stealthing, and we will see whether we can help Arrakis. How is Sylvanus? Is there much we can do for him?
Not at this point, but he's stable and he's safe and he's conscious enough. I think he could escape if he came into trouble, so he should be fine.
Excellent work. Right, let's go and find Arrakis and save him from whatever merriment is going on in this dungeon. Right. If we can, indeed.
I'm afraid I'm not in much condition to fight anymore, but I can use my elven eyes to try and see in the dark for you.
Oh, many thanks. Well, I will take point, and if you remain hidden for now, I'm sure some stealth is the best way to find Arrakis.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So on that note, I'm going to shufty past him, Imnek. I'm going to go to this door. Closed door, open door, locked.
It's
what
closed
we're looking
at this point. Yeah.
Closed. I'm going to stick my ear against it, or look. Is there a lock or something I can look through, or underneath it, anything like that?
No, but it feels quite cold to the touch. This door does.
Okay, and that's odd, presumably, given everything else I've experienced so far.
Well, it's a little bit different.
Okay, so
you can see daylight keep like around the edges of it. There was light coming through, and it appears to be daylight.
Oh right, okay. So would I be right in thinking this might be a door to the outside?
Probably.
All right, okay. I'm going to push it open gently and have a peek outside, peek through it even.
So basically, what you're seeing is this goes to like another pass on the mountain, but it's quite narrow. It seems like once you open the door and view it from outside, you can see the door from outside would have been hidden.
Right. Okay.
So it's like a secret back entrance in.
Oh, well, bloody wish we knew about that. Right. Okay. I'll turn to Imnek and I'll say, I think this is a dead end, my friend. And we'll have to head up to where Arrakis was taken.
Looks like.
So I will do that. I'm going to shuffle back through this wee room, dance over the table, keep on moseying, skip over my ball bearings. Although I feel I should sweep up after myself. It's not very eco-friendly of me dropping metal everywhere, but nonetheless. Carry on through the sort of the main.
Always be aware of your carbon footprint.
Think what could happen if they got into the waterways. What the little fish would suffer.
Sure. Oh, Roche compliant burglar me. Right. I'm gonna carry on, Steve. But I'm getting a bit more cautious now because I remember there being
okay.
a couple of baddies that we left when I was running away here.
Yeah. So
Imnek will sort of try and stay as sort of within sort of arm's reach. So if his dark vision can see something that he thinks
Well, you
Sid
can
might
see
miss,
you can see light
can
coming
tap
from
him.
this. Right. So the room that the goblins are in was very simply lit. This corridor isn't very well lit, but this room here is lit. You can see light coming from there.
Okay. Just to confirm my state at the moment, I'm still hidden.
Make a stealth check.
All right, coming up.
Do you need one from Imnek?
Imnek can do one, but with advantage because he's invisible.
Yeah.
Just to be on the safe side.
Oh dear.
Wonderful.
Oh, right, okay.
At least they can't see me still, but yes.
Are these doors on the side of this corridor?
Yes, there are doors either side of it. Yeah.
I completely missed those last time.
You know, well, you might have done, but don't you remember us asking, hey, maybe we slow down and check them first?
I don't remember anything. The red mist descended.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
clearly.
Mm.
Okay. So I'm gonna go. I think I'm hidden, Steve. Yeah, we happy?
Yeah.
Okay. So before I mosey on in there, I'm gonna snap an leg off this bench here, this table,
Yeah.
and I'm going to wrap some rattan furs and stuff around it and set it on fire
Okay.
and give myself a rudimentary torch as I go into this tunnel.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to hold it. I'm going to sort of launch it into the middle of the into the corridor,
Okay.
so that I'm not holding it as I walk in.
Okay. So you put it about there.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So there's a torch in the middle of the floor, light in the room.
Okay. And then I'm going to sort of creep in along the walls.
Yep.
I'm just going to shuffle up this little wall here. And you said there's some doors on the side of this passage, is there?
So yeah. So you can see there's 4 doors here. 1, 2, 2, and then there's 2 ahead of you as well. So one in the corner here.
Ah, okay. So these
One
are
in the
sort of
corner
side
here.
rooms, are they?
Yeah.
Okay, so on this first door, can I peek through a lock or a crack in it or anything like that?
You can't. There's no light from inside, so you can't see anything from inside of it. Even though there's cracks and the keyholes, or what have you.
So I'll try and make rudimentary hand gestures to Imnek, asking for him to have a look with his fancy elven eyes and see if he can offer any insight through that doorway. I'll be doing this sort of thing. That's business going on, right?
Yeah, is there anything I can sort of see through, or at least sort of put my ear against it?
You can. There are the doors are getting quite old. There's a little bit of cracks around the edges and that. You're looking through the what cracks you can see with dark vision. It looks like a reasonably small room which is just like an old storage room. There's all beds and chairs stacked up and barrels, but they're all old and starting to rot. And
Yeah. So I'll just whisper to Cockwind, storage room, I think.
Okay. So I'm going to open that door just to have a bit of a, you never know, might find another bag of good stuff there. So I'll push that door open or pull it open, whichever way it goes.
yeah, so yeah, you just find. I said it looks like someone's just taken a load of furniture looks like at some point someone stacked all the furniture in there neatly and then someone's raveled through it over the years to try and find out what it is. It all looks to be, from what you can gather, similar to what the dwarves had in their places.
Okay.
So it's some dwarven construction, but it's all old and most of it's starting to rot.
All right. Is it quite dry stuff or is it sort of wet and moldy?
It's called quite moldy because you're on a cold mountainside, basically.
Okay. All right. I'll leave it alone then. I'll come and to the other door and do my same motioning and frantic actions towards him.
Basically, that room's almost exactly the same, but it looks like someone at some point, some wild animal may have used this as a lair or something.
A latrine.
Yeah.
All right.
The poop
I'm
room.
going to just a body swerve said room and carry on up the tunnel. I was being very, very careful as I get to my torch to not to keep to the shadows.
Yep.
And there's another door here by the looks of it.
Yep.
Okay.
So looking in that one, it's the same size room, but this one has obviously been cleared out of any junk if there was anything in there, and there's several beds in there, from 3 beds in there.
Are they sort of goblin type beds? Quite
No,
small, or?
the goblin beds were basically just piles of dirty, flea-bitten furs. These are actual proper beds. They still don't look terribly comfortable, terribly nice, but they are actual beds.
Oh, okay.
Map not to scale.
Yeah. I assume there's a bit more light in here, or
Well, no, only the light that's coming from your torch at the moment.
So I'm going to push into this room. Have a wee look, and I'm going to start flicking bed sheets back, look under beds, just in case there's anything of any value. Or
You find a couple of knickknacks, but nothing really of anything value or useful to you.
I look at them and toss them aside in disgust, and I carry on up the tunnel.
Okay.
Oh,
Now you can see, in the tunnel, you can see one of the cultists is sitting on a chair, kind of mace in hand, watching the corridor.
He's watching the corridor, so he's looking straight down towards me, is he?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So I gesture to Imnek, just trying to inform him of what we can see, if you've not already seen it. And what kind of state is this cultist looking at the moment, Steve? Is he looking beat up, or?
He looks all right. Yeah, he keeps doing this.
All right, okay. So what I am going to do is I am going to... Right, okay, got a plan. Right. I motion to Imnek to move back down the tunnel, and I come to here. I grab the torch I threw in, tie my rope around it, and I fling the torch. No, actually, what I'll do first is I'll back up into this room a little bit, just so I'm peeking around the door edge, and I'm staying out of the way. I'm going to fling the torch towards this door, try to draw attention as if it was somebody walking down the tunnel.
You're basically doing what Sean Connery did in The Rock to get out the jail cell.
Yeah, man. Yeah. John Patrick Nation of Her Majesty's SAS.
Great secret, my son.
So I'm sort of flinging it, like lassoing it, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like bolus down the and just trying to create a bit of attention.
Like, he stands up and starts just carefully moving forwards.
Okay. Then I'm going to sort of start swinging the torch the other way, and I'm going to loose it into this room, if you see what I mean. So as I'm swinging it, it'll flick off.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, he cautiously kind of starts walking down.
Okay. And then as he goes past, I'm going to shoot him in the face. But when he was close to Imnek, so I get my sneak attack on him.
Back there.
Yeah.
But you get sneak attack anyway because you are.
I'm hitting him right. All right, he can.
Yeah, you're actually doing a sneak attack.
In that case, he can carry on moseying down the tunnel. Get him away from Imnek in that case. Right. Okay. So as soon as I see him get into this room here, I'll loose my sneak attack on him.
Okay, so you get advantage on this because you're doing it from hidden.
Roger that. Advantage. Shot.
Oh,
smack him with that action.
Double your sneak attack damage too.
Crikey, oh yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, you double up all dice.
Roll 2d6, yeah?
Yep, will be 4d6.
Okay. And again. And that. God, that's got. I've smacked him in the face.
31.
How many hit points has he got left?
Gotta be less than 31, surely.
Boom.
Excellent. Oh, that was spectacular. I'm pleased with that.
Right through the back of the head and probably out the front too.
Yeah, it just drops like a sack of spuds.
Okay, so that's gone better than I thought. So I'm looking quite pleased with myself at the moment.
Yeah, Imnek is also looking very pleased with you. Not that you can see that, unfortunately.
So, what I'm going to do?
You just say, "Excellent shot, my friend."
Thank you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and just check this dead guy over and see if he's got anything again that potions or any sort of healing powders or anything like that that might help the upcoming investigations. So I'll just pop down here and see if this man's got anything useful on him.
What has he
Or,
got
of course,
me?
any coin or anything that I can rob. And
Oh yeah, I gathered you'd be interested in coin he might have.
I thought it was a given.
Yeah.
Every NPC profile you do needs to have a money social on it.
Yeah, I know. I need to roll these before the session, really, don't I?
Spike it up.
And here's that. So you find a small coin purse on him, and he's got 4 platinum pieces on him,
Oh, okay,
Bloody
very
hell.
nice.
Wow.
but nothing else, unfortunately.
That's all right.
40 quid.
He's a thug, though. To be fair.
Oh, sorry, and you find you find a deck of cards on him as well.
Ooh,
Hello.
ooh, I'm intrigued by this deck of cards.
Uh-oh.
Right.
No, Adam, don't worry, it's not that.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, no.
I'm not that stupid.
No, nobody uses a deck of many things, man. Seriously, that's just asking for pain.
Right. Okay. So happy
I
days.
will once Cockwind's done his thing. I will. I'll drag the body out of the way and sort of try to hide it
Okay.
under a bed or something.
So yeah, there's loads of those like dirty furs and that you can easily hide it under under all the goblin bedding.
Yeah.
So as Imnek's doing it, I just see a body move across the floor. I sort of
Yeah, you're basically
tip
this
the old
body.
tip the old hat at him.
Yeah, and all these like furs suddenly come into the air and kind of go whoop, whoop, on top of it.
That's it. So a bit of a knowing look in the doff of the cap, and we're on our way. Right. Cool. Okay. So back up the tunnel. Remaining cautious and mooching with care.
Yep.
I will carry on up, and there's another door here. I think, is that right?
Yeah.
I'm just whilst I'm here, I'm keeping an eye out into this room to make sure there's no, or I can't see
Yeah.
any signs of anyone else or
That's fair enough.
any other behaviours.
This room is another bedroom with 3 beds in.
Okay, so I will push it open and just again have a bit of a scout round. Anything
Again,
or any help?
more
for
of
me?
just a utilitarian bedroom, just a bed, 3 beds, simple mattresses. So they're all a bit old and shitty, but better than what the goblins were in, but still nothing you'd call comfortable.
All right, so I will come out of here and I will now, as this is a natural sort of choke point, I'm going to start dragging bits of bed and furniture out into the hallway and set a little trap, I think.
Okay.
Okay, so I need to cover any retreats. So I'm just going to sort of lie bits of wood and stuff down the edge of this corridor, sort of here and here, and I'm going to drop a few ball bearings in between.
Okay. So
That's the sort of action, and obviously, as I do this, Imnek's aware that I'm doing it, so he is making a mental note, as I am, of said trap.
yeah.
And the wood will be a reminder as we come past that. That's where I've done it. Right. So, I will. Where am I going? I'm going to carry on up into the round table room.
Okay. So yeah. So this room, it's basically, for what it appears to be, although it's just drawn a bit like a meeting room, it's more or less some kind of common room. There's a table there.
I imagine that's a
few
bit
plates.
trashed right now.
Yeah, the things have been shattered.
Cracking
Some things have
table.
been flown to the corners, but you can see there were plates for food, a couple of mugs for beer. There's evidence of some dice and some playing cards there as well. The room's lit by a couple of like lamps in the corners.
Okay.
But at the moment, the 2 doors leaving the room have been shut, and there's no other signs of anyone.
All right. Is there any sort of, because I haven't seen what's happened to Arrakis yet, I'm guessing. So is there any signs of?
Somebody did say, I think Imnek probably would have seen because he was first forward.
Right.
He
Okay.
would have seen Arrakis, being dragged that way.
Right. Okay.
That
So
room right next to you.
so before we go rushing in to see the horny devil himself,
Hello.
man from Del Monte in devil style. I will
It
just
does say
go,
yes.
I will just go over to this door here, and sort of investigate as well if I can look through any
Actually,
cracks. Or...
Imnek will have a look around at what lighting is in the room.
So it is like oil type lanterns,
Mhm.
and judging from your knowledge there, it looks like it's whale oil that's been used.
Like Imnek will, while sort of checking out the place, or when he's done doing that, Imnek will douse all but one, so there's enough light that the halfling isn't in the dark, but so that there are shadows for him to disappear into if he needs them.
Okay,
Excellent.
right. So this door here is kind of open, but it leads into this little short corridor with a door at the end.
Right. Okay. Right. I'm gonna just quickly and quietly augment my trap now that we've found buckets of oil lying around. And I will nip back to my piles of wood and douse them in oil. So I'm dousing my
Okay.
wood over here in oil and leaving
So
a
to
trail.
speak.
Yeah, leaving a little trail that I can light with something I haven't yet found. So I'm
Well,
gonna carry.
wake up the tiefling. There's plenty of fire around him.
Yeah, I'm
Your
hoping
pack
you.
might have tinder in it.
I think
tinder.
it does actually. I think I do have a tinder box. Yeah,
You'll
I've got
probably have a tinder box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got
Yeah.
tinder box. Right. Okay. I might just do something a bit more theatrical as we peg it out of this later on. Right.
Oh.
So I will move into presumably what's the dark little corridor. is
Yep.
it, Sam? I'll have a look, and I'm hit by another door. Am I?
Yeah.
Okay, and this door is closed,
Yeah, door is closed. Yeah.
locked.
It doesn't appear to have a lock on it.
Okay. Any cracks? Is it lit from other side?
You can, yeah, it's lit from now that Imnek's doused several oil lamps. You can see the light coming from the other side through the edge cracks and what have you, and you can feel a little bit more heat coming from this door as well.
Okay. I'm going to turn towards where I think Imnek is, but I'll probably be facing in the wrong direction. So I'll be talking to the wall over here, and ask him if he would know why the door is warm.
Give him the facetious answer.
Imnek will sort of think about that for a while because it's warmer on the other side.
Brains of the bunch we are, aren't we? Right?
Yeah, literally.
You can also just about make out voices from the other side.
Okay. Right. So I'm going to leave that door for a minute, and I'm going to check this door out. What's going on this side?
So that side, you can't see any light coming through it. There's nothing unusual about the temperature, and you can't hear any noises when you listen.
Okay, no noises that way. And when I was at this door, could I see how many voices I was hearing?
You definitely hear two people having a conversation.
Okay. Now, are they going to be goblins or thugs? The question. I'm going to go after Arrakis, I think. So I'm going to come through this door here.
Okay. So you look through the door, and it reveals a corridor leading further down into the mountain.
Oh, Christ, we're getting deeper here. Okay, so how long have we been going now? Is Sylfina still on his rest?
Probably about, let's say, about 20 minutes, half an hour. So you've still got about half an hour left on Sylfina's rest, which also means you've got half an hour left on Imnek's invisibility.
And I sort of always assume with concentration spells that you kind of have a pretty good idea when they're about to end.
Yeah. So you probably got about another 30 minutes left of the spell.
All right. So at this point, I look again towards where I think Imnek is, probably still getting it wrong, and ask whether he thinks we should go for the tunnel or have a look at the other side room.
I think we should at least make sure that there is no danger immediately that can come down this corridor. We need to watch our backs.
Okay, so I nod and agree. And is it Dark Order?
Yes, it's not lit.
Okay. So I will carry on moseying quite quietly and stealthily down this corridor. But because I can't see in the dark, because I'm a really shit thief, I will use the walls to help me find my way. In essence,
Imnek will carefully pick his way down it straight.
Dickhead.
Hey, this is the party that's saving your ass here, right? We're at another
Well,
door.
we haven't decided that yet.
Yeah, that's true. That's true,
Right.
we haven't yet.
There's another door. There is definitely light coming from the other side, and it's not torchlight. It appears to be. It's got a bit of a blue tinge to it, and you can definitely hear voices talking. It's like you can hear one voice say, "You sure the ropes are tied securely?" Yeah, he ain't getting out of that.
Okay. Does it sound? Does it sound like it's the cult leader fella, or is it sort of
Yeah,
more
because you would
roughish?
have heard his voice casting the spells earlier. So yes,
And
the guy asked about
he's
Does it
sort of-
sound like muffled arrogance?
You don't hear anything from Arrakis at this point.
No. Very much unconscious.
All right. Okay. So I look towards Imnek, and I think the fool will be fine for a bit longer.
That's
Sound
nice.
like they want him alive.
Indeed.
Right. So I think we're going to clear our back because I don't want to be caught out.
It's the large hard object I carry in my trousers they're interested in.
Well, it's funny you should say that because as you can hear them discussing, they go, "I wonder exactly what this object is. I think we should inform Hedron. Are you sure he's secured? Yes. Right. Wake him up then." And you hear a splash of water. And at this point, Arrakis, you are woken by absolutely freezing cold water being splashed on your face. You are bound and gagged at this point. So I might as well reveal it. I know it's a bit meta. You have been plonked on a chair, and you have the guy who cast the spell to your left, one of the other cultists to your right, and you can just sense that someone's behind you because you've got a hand on your shoulder. You bet that your pockets have been emptied, so one of them's holding onto your arcane focus and your wand, but the cultist who cast the spell is holding the object.
I see. They have my arcane focus. That's disappointing.
So he gets emotions to the cultist on your right, and he pulls the gag out of your mouth.
Hello. Oh, I see you found my toy.
Yes. What is it?
Well, why don't you untie me and we'll find out.
The other thing that's amazing, there's absolutely nothing else in this room apart from
it has no cameras.
apart from a large mirror that appears to be made out of black ice. So it's like 6 foot like dress mirror with all this an intricate frame around it, and you are sitting directly in front of this mirror. So at the moment, all you can see is yourself, and you can see this guy behind you.
Hello.
Make a perception check.
A perception check. Oh,
Yeah.
That's not going to go well. Perception.
I think it's wisdom.
Yeah, no, that did not go deep.
Yeah. Okay.
Honestly. I walk around with my head up my arse quietly.
So, what is
Nice mirror.
this?
What does the black thing do? Well, I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you.
That's a shame. Fine. He walks up to the mirror, places a hand onto it, and closes his eyes with his head down for a second.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
And you can see the surface of the mirror kind of shimmer.
Ah, I'm going into the Matrix, or out of the Matrix. Okay.
And as the mirror shimmers, instead of seeing your reflection, when it clears, you can see what looks like some kind of audience chamber. There's like a throne-like structure and steps leading up to it onto a dais, and everything appears to have been structured or carved out of black ice.
Oh.
And sitting on this throne, on this dais, is Hedron, the ice witch.
I'll just laugh to myself. I might have known. It's about time you showed yourself, my dear. Where are you hiding?
I am not hiding, she says.
Well, you haven't shown yourself yet, so in my book, that's hiding.
Esvar, why have you called me? To which point the cultist kind of bows and goes, chosen of Arul, we have brought you a gift. This devilkin and his companions raided the Verbeeg lair. So this, she stands up, she goes up slightly and goes, the egg? Is it still okay? I don't believe they found the egg. Winter's Wrath. However,
you may believe what you think, my dear. But I can assure you that the thief amongst our party is very good at hiding things.
To which this Hedron just smirks at this point and goes, he's trying to deceive us. He's failing. Stick him on the side of the mountain and let Arul decide his fate. Very well, mistress, but you might be aware of this. At which point he holds out the black stone. She gasps. Is it another piece? I believe so, mistress. It certainly looks like the other piece we found. At this point, she stands up from her throne and walks up to the mirror. So she's more or less standing there. And again, the surface shimmers. And she steps through the mirror into the room you're in.
Ooh.
She takes the item off the cultist, looks at it and goes, and like there's absolute shock and awe in her face. She goes, it is. And she takes from out of her side another chunk of what looks like black ice, which is the same one that Cockwind saw like strapped to her hand and tried to steal when you're in the icing desk cavern. And at this point, everything in the room is kind of rattling slightly.
What am I bound with, just out of interest?
Ropes.
And how many hit points do I have? None, I assume.
You're on one because your wounds have been tended so that you are no longer bleeding out.
Right, okay. And where's the door?
Behind you.
Right. Okay.
At this point, she just grabs the pine. She goes, "Here's of no longer any use to me." Well, no. Find out where you got this item from. Find out where the rest
I can tell you
are.
that, my dear, if you stay around, but I don't think you're going to like it.
It looks like she was about to step back into the mirror, and she looks back at you in anger.
Don't be afraid.
Where is it from?
My uncle. And I'll just look at
uncle?
it with a smirk on my face. Don't you know what I am? Who I am? Where I'm from? And just glare at her.
Maybe Kessel was right. Are you suggesting you are a Bartazoo?
I wouldn't like to blow my own trumpet.
So you've come, what, to find the rest of the pieces? To reclaim them for your master?
Oh, well, I have no master.
So why are you here?
Because, well, let's just say the individual who owns that artifact is looking for it, and he's none too happy it's gone missing. I dread to think what he'll do to the individual who possesses it if he finds them. And I assure you, he is far more powerful than you. At this point, I'll just start a little fire in my hand, just to sort of start to burn through the ropes.
Okay, so you guys inside can start to see him trying to wiggle his Arrakis wiggling his fingers, and a little bit of smouldering coming from the rope.
Okay. And how are the other people in the room looking? Because we obviously got a few hits in.
They've both got their backs. Well, the actual the main cultist, the guy who was doing all the talking, which is this guy here.
Yeah.
From what you can see, he's looking a bit worn. Actually, he's looking a bit tired.
Okay.
Kind of leaning. He's leaning on the chair that Arrakis. These other two guys don't look so bad.
Right. Okay. I'm not sure we can take him yet. You know, I think we need something else on our side here.
Yeah, Imnek's certainly not in any condition to offer much
Yeah.
help.
I'm
And
sure he'll be fine.
I'm on.
He
I'm on.
seems pretty confident in himself.
Can I, presumably I'm facing the mirror, so I can't see these two at the moment.
No, you can't, because as soon as the cultist had touched the mirror, it stopped being a reflection and this kind of.
Right, okay. So I know they're there, though.
You don't know.
Oh, right,
I don't-
okay.
yeah,
Right,
we
Because
don't.
you failed the perception check.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine.
um,
Pray, my dear, have you ever encountered a Barlaw before?
no,
Oh, I think you're probably about to.
that Kessel has, and I don't think you fully understand what you have, do you?
Oh, I know more than you possibly think. I know where this is from. I know what it can do.
Are you sure?
Oh, very, very sure.
Make a deception check.
Don't fail me now, dice.
A bad time to do so.
Deception, you say?
Yeah. Well, do you believe what you're saying, or are you lying to her? Is the question.
Let's find out.
Well, no, because if it's
Deception. I
deception.
don't.
Okay, all right.
Oh, Christ.
Oh Jesus, man.
What is deception based on?
Charisma.
Charisma.
My strongest attribute. But I'm kind of, a bit groggy right now. That's my excuse.
Off you game.
Off my game. Exactly, off my game.
She looks at you and just goes, and there's a look of pity across her face at this point. She goes,
Oh no, you're being pitied now.
I don't
Well,
think you quite
that's just going to
understand
annoy
what
me.
you have, do you? You ever heard of the Crystal Shard? Crunchiniabon? No, obviously not. Oh well. He obviously doesn't know where the other pieces are. If he says something, let me know. But otherwise, take him to the mountainside. Auril can decide his fate. With
I
that,
know
she
where the
takes-
rest are.
I don't believe you.
Oh, can you afford it?
Now that you've given me this, I think I can.
No.
But if you are telling the truth, tell me the location of one of the other pieces.
Entertainingly, it's back in Waterdeep. I lost it in a bet.
Waterdeep, you say? Okay. That's too far away to prove your loyalty.
So be it. But you're
So you
lost,
think
my
you
dear.
know- You think you know where the other pieces are, do you?
I know full well where two of them are. But not all of them.
No.
I'm sure you know that.
Auril will decide. If you know the knowledge, Auril will spare your life to give me the information.
We've beaten it once before. I fail to see why this will be a problem again.
You've beaten my simulacrum. I tire of this. She walks
With
back
ease,
through the.
I might doubt.
She walks back through the mirror.
Oh, now I'm pissed.
Turns back to the cultist and says, "Tie him to the mountainside. If he survives the night, speak to me tomorrow." She waves a hand, and it goes back to her reflection.
So on hearing that things are sort of wrapping up in there, I'm gonna pop on my slippers and climb up to the roof to stay out of the way.
Permagrip souls.
Permagrip souls.
9.99.
Assuming that the walls are not shiny, icy stuff.
No.
How much longer would the invisibility have?
Ooh, you've probably got about 15 minutes left.
Okay. I'll sort of, as I see Cockwind putting the slippers on, I'll get close to his ear and just sort of whisper, I have a little time left before the shadows will break. I may have to leave you at some point though.
I nod to him and acknowledge that, and say, "Stay as long as you can, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
I think things are going to get exciting."
Just after the Hedron goes back for the mirror, the kind of lead cultist says, "Tie him up, stick him out to the mountain. Well, keep him tied up, gag him again, stick him onto the mountainside. Somewhere where he can get to. Put him on the ledge near to the ogre's quarters."
Are my bonds broken yet? Because fire's pretty hot.
They're loose.
Can I?
With that, he starts walking away. Go on.
Basically, just loose. I mean, kind of wriggle it free. I don't want to move my hands or open them up yet. Just kind of get rid of my bonds.
Yeah.
Are my feet loose? Are they tied?
Your feet are tied.
Okay. But enough to start casting fire. Excellent. Or various other things.
Okay, so this guy, you all see this guy stand up, start wandering off back out the corridor. Yeah, not stretching.
Can I look around to see what else is in this room? Because I've not actually seen what's in the room yet.
The only thing in the room is the chair you're on, the two cultists either side of you who are just checking all your... about to start checking your bonds and untying your legs, and the mirror in front of you. That's it. There is nothing else in this room. It's been kept clear of all other things.
So at this point, I'm looking into the room, if that's possible, because presumably this guy's left the door open.
Yeah.
And I see a moment where I can just catch the dim-witted Bellend's eye and make him aware of my presence.
So in the reflection in the mirror, you can see like this head poking out from the door frame, the scarfed head of Cockwind.
I'll just roll my eyes.
And
I will nod to him.
So
just
as this is going on, and I see that they're going to go, because I've seen what he's done to his bonds.
Yeah.
I will knock up a little distraction in the tunnel, try and see if I can buy him a bit of space in which to work.
Okay.
Who's got my arcane focus?
So one of these two guys has got it.
Do I know which one?
They put basically what they've done is they put it all to the side and it's in a little pile in front of you in the mirror.
In the mirror or in
front
of
the mirror? Sorry, in front of the mirror.
Right, okay. So if I dive forward and bag it, I can cast something fucking nasty. Right,
So
okay.
I am going to effectively grab a chunk of stone or rock, anything I can find, and hurl it as hard as I can towards this end of the tunnel, and try and make a little bit of a noise, or make quite a big bit of noise.
Okay, so you throw a stone, it clatters down the corridor and hits the door like with a thump. Dunk. One of the guards looks at it and looks down the corridor and goes, what the hell was that? Oh, the rest of them aren't attacking, are they? Tell you what, I'll go check. You make sure he's tied up. Grab him to his legs. Yeah. So this guy starts walking forward as well. Is that you, Ivric?
So as that guy moseys on,
Yeah.
I'm gonna come into this room, still on the ceiling, or on the roof, I suppose, and I can see what's this guy doing?
So this guy at the moment is untying the ropes which have got Arrakis' legs to the chair because he's got his hands tied behind his back, which you can see he's burnt through some of them.
Yeah.
And he's
untying my legs.
Yes, he's untying your legs from the chair.
Oh dear, that's a mistake.
Okay. So
can Imnek, I can't attack or cast spells. Would just sort of cutting through some ropes count as an attack?
Is it an action? What are you trying to do? Sorry.
I would just sort of with my sword, just sort of gently, because it'd be razor sharp, just sort of slice through the ropes.
I think if you interact with something, it basically dispels it.
No, it's not like the old invisibility, so I can go through doors and stuff like that. It's specifically attacking and casting spells, but I don't know if Steve would count.
No, if you're gently kind of like razor slicing a rope, then I'd say no, because you're not swinging at it and going.
Yeah.
Well, there's no real need because I've got my arms are free, but you don't know what I'm about to do, so I suppose that's fair enough. I mean, I'm not going to stop you because I don't know you're there. So
yes.
Can I do basically to this dude what I did to that guy in the alley?
What's that?
Basically, put my hand over his mouth and cast a firebolt into his brain.
You can, but you've got to get the initiative on him. You've got to get the jump if you want to do that.
Oh, I think that's probably worth it.
Okay.
Just look at him, because my hands are behind my back, and just look up at him. Distract him slightly.
Make
Spring my hands and just
stealth check.
Bang. A stealth check. Okay.
Yeah.
I see where you're going.
Because you're doing something surreptitiously.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Well, it is and it isn't, but that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll do.
That'll do. Yeah. He has no idea what you're doing.
You know, my friend, you really should pay more attention. And just grab the back of his head, the front of his mouth, and just firebolt in both directions.
Okay, so make an initiative, everyone in the room.
Okay.
Hang on, before I do. Oh, yeah, it's all right. It's clear. And then you will have surprise on him.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Andy?
Yeah.
Do you still have 1 hit point?
Yes.
He picks his minutes, doesn't he? He picks his minutes.
It's fine. It's all good.
Before we get into this, I'm just going to grab another beer ski.
I'm in a lot of trouble.
Right. Sid,
Right then. Yes.
you have the initiative.
Okay. So
at the moment, all you can see at this point is that Arrakis has broken his bonds and is about to do something, and the guard doesn't
Probably very stupid.
The guard doesn't appear to be doing much. He appears to have got the drop on him at this point.
Right. In which case, I will, from my sort of lofty position, loose a short bow.
Okay.
Don't you dare kill him.
Fair enough. I'll have that.
Okay, so again, you get your sneak attack damage doubled.
Yeah.
Okay, so hang on.
46.
Oh, I might as well. Yeah, so I just roll 4d6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quickest way, isn't it?
10. That was actually a terrible damage roll you got then as well.
Yeah.
3 2s in a row.
20 damage.
That's 20 damage. That's actually quite a bad critical hit damage.
It is pretty poor.
Now you know how it feels, baby.
Mm.
So you hit him and he gets an arrow in that. It's like, Imnek. Your action.
Well, I'll just go hidden again with my whatever it's called.
bonus action.
Your cunning action. Do I make a stealth roll then?
Oops, sorry. Take the first one.
It's all right. Take the first one. It's fine. Imnek, do you want to do anything, or are you passing to get your invisibility?
I'm wondering whether
Pass.
I do want to pass, but I kind of wonder if I should prepare something as a emergency.
reaction.
You can probably still prepare without being detected.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I'll just I'll prepare to swing with my sword if something terrible happens nearby.
Okay, Arrakis.
Well, you know what I'm doing? I'm basically smothering the individual. I was going to swear there, but there may be children watching. I'm sure there's not. And
Yeah,
just
John's around
basically
somewhere.
just force a firebolt down his throat and watch his brains explode out of the back of his head.
Okay, so
I can't believe. Oh wait, this will be amazing.
In
Just roll a 1.
In before
make an
miss.
attack roll with advantage.
Okay. This better work. If I miss this, I'm just going to give up tonight, I think. Attack roll. Oh,
So
Christ,
it's not the attack roll. It's the whatever you use to cast the
fine,
firebolt
it's
spell.
fine. Firebolt, because that's the bit I can cast the firebolt without any spell arcane focus. There's no material thing.
Okay.
I'll do.
Oh,
That's how it's done, fuckers.
That is indeed how it's done. As his eyeball smolder, his shard course slumps to the ground.
Right. I'll stroll over, pick up my stuff.
I'd imagine at one hit point, it's more of a sort of a limp over, but yeah,
No,
you know what you're trying to do.
I'm annoyed now. Well, you two took your time.
You technically don't know I'm there yet.
Okay, you took your look up the ceiling. You took your time.
I was Robin, mate. You were fine.
I suppose I owe you a favour. A
Mate,
most uncomfortable position for me.
You won't
And
be
then
famous for years.
From out of nowhere, you hear Imnek go, well, I was there to assist, so that would be 2 favours, I believe.
I might have known. Very well. Thank you, gentlemen.
Never
Now,
leave a man behind.
We need to find this witch. I owe her a great debt of pain.
Might I suggest we find her?
Going up the corridor, by the way.
I concur.
Might I suggest we find her later?
Yeah, you two are still looking bad shape, aren't you?
Mm.
Right. Okay. Whilst he's preening and sort of mumbling and chattering.
At this point, I mean, obviously, because picking up all of my stuff is going to take more than moving over. I'm only interested in my arcane focus at this point.
Okay, just picking up your arcane focus won't cost an action.
Okay, well, I mean, I've cast my spell, so that'll be my action. So presumably, just walking over and picking it up.
Pick it up. Yeah,
that's all I'm interested in.
Yeah. So, you had a bit of a conversation. Cockwind, it's back to you.
So I am still sort of hidden on the roof. So
Yep.
Can I see down the tunnel?
Yeah, you can. There's just enough light to see this guy start to walk back. Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to. He doesn't know I'm there, so I'm going to drop the short bow on him.
I suggest you stand back.
You should be there, actually.
With advantage, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, you're hidden, yeah.
Okay.
That's a hit, and you get your sneak attack damage.
Okay, 2 seconds. Oh, that's not good.
8 damage.
I assume he's still walking around at that point.
Yeah, but now he knows that you're all there.
I've gone hidden again.
But you've just jumped into the shadows and he doesn't know you're there. Imnek.
I'm on the roof, remember?
Yeah.
I suggest you stay put.
Yes, trying to work out whether I go into the room, stay where I am, or go behind him, because all of these things go terribly, horribly wrong depending on what the tiefling does. Imnek will remain where he is, and again, he'll just prepare an action, just like to take a swing if need be.
The tiefling is taking no chances at this point.
Okay, so he runs in, realizes he can't get you, and readies his mace for an attack.
I'll just stand there grinning with a very, very vicious smile on my face. Welcome to your death. Whose go is it?
It's yours.
Excellent. Right. A Ganazar Scorcher. I am absolutely fed up of these fuckers. They're going to die. 30 foot, column of fire, 5 foot wide. Conveniently, these two are just to the side of it. How convenient, gentlemen. It's almost like we planned it. Right, he's going down.
So it is a dex save, is it not?
It is indeed.
Which he has failed. So he takes 16 fire damage.
Yes, he does.
He's taking a big blast. He holds his hand up. He's obviously taken a damn sight of a lot of damage, and he's bloodied and limping, but he's still going.
Can I... No, it's probably a bit late now, but could I have spent my sorcery points to make that a quickened spell?
Yes.
Or is it too late now?
No, go on then.
Okay. Well, that takes me to... That's take 2 sorcery points, which means I can also cast a cantrip as well.
Okay.
As kind of... Because it basically turns that spell into
a bonus action.
Into a bonus, yeah. So I can cast a normal spell, but I can only cast a cantrip. So
yeah,
You go into Skyrim dual casting mode.
yes. I'm basically dual wielding fire at this point in time. So I'll just firebolt him as well.
Okay.
That might be a problem.
That hits him. Again, scorching him, but he's like,
God damn
he's
it!
still standing.
Will you die?
Cockwind.
Stab him.
Cockwind.
Just fucking stab him.
You know, I need to use a finesse if I want my roll, my thingy.
Yeah.
Am I far enough away not to be disadvantaged using a ranged weapon? If I'm on the
At
roof,
the moment, no,
you're
because
5 feet.
you're too close to him at the moment.
so I can just back up a little bit. So I'll back up to about there,
Yep.
and I will drop the short bow on him. Still hidden, yeah.
Yep. Still get advantage. That's a hit, and you don't even have to roll the damage. That takes him down. Takes down the already charred and battered corpse.
So I glance over to Arrakis, going, "Yet another favor you owe me."
Let's be honest here. I did soften him up somewhat.
Yeah.
You each stole a kill off the other.
Let's call it several kegs of ale. Call it a draw for that one.
That I can concur. Now, I
Yes.
suggest we leave this place. We have a witch to hunt.
Have you collected all your shit?
Yes. Minus a particular artifact that is particularly dear to me.
And that's going to leave them squabbling and head down just to check the way is clear back.
I shall grab all my gear.
It appears to be. There doesn't seem to be anyone south of you.
Okay, so I will come down off the ceiling, taking off my my sparkly slippers, and
I'd leave them off for now.
donning something slightly more manly in the shape of a boot, and mooch down the corridor, sort of reasonably chuffed with how it's all gone.
Okay.
So just gonna carry on down here. Still dark down here, isn't it?
Yeah, that corridor's dark. Yeah.
Are we still in combat or out of
No.
combat?
You can ignore combat now.
Okay.
And just stomp down this corridor in anger.
So there's no point being stealthy with a bloody elephant that's stomping down behind me. So I just carry on through. Is it time for us to recover Sylvanus, or we still got some time on this invisibility and his rest?
I'd imagine.
If
Sort of-
your spells
You've
run
got
out-
about 5 or 10 minutes left on the invisibility.
Let's kick this door through and find out what's there.
All right. What state are you two jokers in? Are you pretty beat up still?
I've got 1 health point.
Maybe you
I mean,
should be charging ahead then.
Ah, I'm fine.
I've got a little.
I'm
I've got more.
annoyed.
I've got a bit of a. I've got a bit of a cushion, still, but not enough to do my usual duties for you.
All right. Okay. So I will. I'm gonna move up to this door that was warm before.
Hopefully, it's
And
just the one guy.
I'm gonna put my slippers on again, and I'm gonna go up onto the ceiling and push it open from the ceiling.
Okay.
Just so it's a bit. So I'm not obviously in the doorway when it opens.
Do make a stealth check as you push the door open.
Alrighty. Turn me advantage off and stealth.
Okay. So you open the door.
I'm going to stand here like artillery.
Ruining my nice, quiet way of opening the door.
Yep.
Thanks, mate.
What you can see is as soon as you open the door, you can feel the heat coming from the room, and the heat's coming from a stove in the corner, which someone has just, whereas all the other stoves in the place do seem to be like ticking over, they seem to be trying to keep this one as warm as possible. The entire room's got a bit of a, this wave of heat hits you. The lead cultist that was speaking to you earlier is talking to. Best be described as like a wild man. It doesn't look like a barbarian because the barbarians at least have some kind of culture to them. But this guy is like a haggard beard. He's got scrappy clothes, but he looks like he's well kitted for where living out in the wilderness. There's a couple of goblins in the corner, kind of nervously standing by, and one of the other cultists is kind of there's a table in the corner he's sitting at, which with his feet up at this point. His hands behind the back of his head.
Okay. And are they all sort of facing away from the door at the moment? Or
At the moment, they are, yeah. These two are having a conversation.
which do these two here?
Yeah. I said this guy here is facing them, and the goblins just kind of nervously fidgeting by the door.
So I will. I assume Imnek and that have seen it, or I guess Imnek might have, but Arrakis won't have yet.
No, I'm staying behind. I mean, I'm not trying to make any noise. I'm just going to sort of get straight behind you just in case I need to launch something effective at you.
Okay, so you're doing a rear guard action there. Roger
Yes,
that. Right.
because I have 1 hit point and I have no intention of getting smacked.
Okay. So the sort of the wild man, does he look sort of triple R'd?
Hard to tell.
Can I see any weapons on him? Or
He doesn't seem to have any weapons on him. No, he seems to be very concerned about what's inside this stove.
right? Okay. Yeah. Have I got anything like an assassin stealth attack or anything like that? I don't think I have got anything like that, have I?
No.
Okay. So what am I gonna do?
This isn't a fight we can win, I think.
I think you're right. I take it the most of the people in this room are looking quite healthy, are they?
Yeah.
Right. How well lit is the room?
Very well lit.
So I can't.
There's a light coming from the fire in the corner, and there's an oil lamp on the table in front of this guy.
Okay, and I guess there's a door up here.
Yeah.
And does that door look important?
Just looks the same as the other doors in the place.
Right. Okay. Okay. Right. So I am going to grab a little bit more of the oil that we found in this room in the braziers, and I'm just going to pour it in front of me in the doorway in this little passage.
Yep.
Set a little trap. And then I am going to. What the hell am I gonna do? Fuck it. Right. This guy here.
Yeah.
smack him in the back of the head with a short bow.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, right. Roll, making
Oh,
history rolls again,
no.
chaps.
Yeah, all right.
You did get the surprise action on all of them, but
We might want to run on this one a bit.
Oh,
See what happens.
God. Okay, damn. I don't want to do this. I fear this is a.
Oh,
This may
now
be a
you get
step
cold
too far.
feet.
Yeah.
I reckon we get a couple of good rolls. I reckon we can get away with this. The goblin shouldn't be any problem.
No, I'm
The
not worried about
cultist is-
them.
The cultist is
I'm
half
worried
dead.
about the spellcaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be that is the variable. I'll grant you.
Given he was my undoing last time.
Here's one of the parts of your undoing, I feel.
He was the only
Yeah.
part of my
I
undoing.
mean, you were still in the room with double attacking thugs.
He is.
That
he
doesn't
is-
matter. Again, as
almost
our
dead.
Scorcher would have incinerated them. You just know. Yeah, they only beat my face in because I couldn't move.
Yeah.
Have you
I
got
think
some
a
spell?
column of fire in their face would have slowed them down enough for me to run away.
Have you got some good gear?
Me?
Yeah.
I have some spells left, yes.
Right, okay.
Although most of them only have a range of about 30 feet.
So is everyone ready to do a
The-
dash if this goes horribly wrong?
The other thing is that this would technically interrupt our elf friend's short rest if we sort of have to make a peg for it.
I'm like 200 feet away.
yeah, by the time you get to Emil, his short rest to be over.
Okay.
And remember, I have sort of laid quite a decent trap on our way out, so we should be able to hold them off. Got a good little bit.
Okay, right. Are you attacking? Are you?
I am. I'm on it, man. I'm going for it.
You get
Right.
advantage then?
Advantage, and I'm gonna take the. Did I say this guy?
You originally said that guy, yeah.
Do I have to stay with him, or somebody's made a very good point about the spellcaster?
No, you haven't yet made the roll yet, so you change your mind.
So I'm gonna go for the spellcaster.
Okay.
Short bow.
That's a hit. Roll your damage. Your spell attack.
Oh,
Nice. 18 damage and plunk.
nice.
Down he goes.
Right. Well, that's that variable out of the mix. And then I'll do me stealth and see if I can stay hidden.
Okay. Make
Oh,
a stealth
sorry. Take
check.
the first one.
Okay. Imnek, do you want to move or are you staying put?
Imnek is backing out.
Okay. Are you just doing just a normal walk and then foregoing an action, are you?
I will hold an Eldritch Blast if anyone steps up to melee range of our tiefling friend.
Okay.
So sort of to try and knock him down before he gets hit.
You hear this guy goes, "Don't let him get the egg! Kill him!"
Is he the guy from Time Team?
Yeah, he probably looks like him, actually.
Is it my go?
No, it is the
Excellent.
goblins. Have a speed of 30 feet, so they will go. It's 25 feet to there. So that won't go to there. That won't get to there. They'll see Imnek standing on the table. Arrakis, sorry, and we'll fire the short bows at him.
Here we go again.
What's your armor class, Arrakis?
14. No, 15.
That's a miss. The second one, however, is a critical.
Well, that's knocked me out.
So you are out for the count again.
Yay.
I'm afraid I'm not around to get you up this time.
That's okay.
Don't get murdered.
Well, that's kind of pissed in my chips.
Well,
We're
put
dropping-
short bow in your chips.
There's a lot of crits being dropped this time, isn't there?
Right, this
Shit,
guy.
how dice work, isn't it?
This guy moves forward and then stops because he doesn't know what the hell's going on now. Arrakis, make a death save.
Oh, for God's sake! You'd think after all of the ones I've done of these, I think I'd get quite good at it.
Don't really get resistance to death, I think.
Well, maybe that's something I need to level up to. So, presumably I'm back to 0 death saves.
Yes, you're back to 0. Yeah, you
Oh.
resets when you came back to consciousness.
Hooray!
That's a save.
Yay!
This guy here doesn't do anything. Just stays next to the stove.
Old time team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cockwind, it's back to you.
Right.
I played Baldric.
No, not him. The other one, the weird West Country fella,
I don't know
big
what you're talking
beardy
about
weirdy
now.
fella. Right. Oh, James. How are these guys all looking? They're all looking pretty healthy, aren't they? These
They're all
three
looking
fellas?
pretty healthy, yeah.
Right. What would happen if I set my oil on fire in terms of hurting these guys?
It's a
No.
fire. It's an oil flask, isn't it? It's in the player's handbook. That. You'd probably get, if you set it afire based on what you're doing, you'd probably hit all 3 of them with whatever it is.
Yeah.
It won't do much.
I don't think
it's
it's gonna be
like
much,
a
is
D6
it?
or something like that. It's in the equipment somewhere. It's in like a fire thing.
Would it be enough to take the goblins out? That's my interest.
Who knows?
Probably.
Has he got a chance to? More, that's probably a better way of asking that question.
It's God, what's it under burning
Yeah.
oil? Or something?
I think if we'd had
Alchemist's fire would
a
jump.
chance to short rest, we might seriously have had a chance at taking these guys out. Not in our current state.
Well, let's just run.
Yeah,
Well,
I can get
you can
Arrakis
do
back
that.
up.
I'm
can
lying
get-
on my ass on a table.
I can get Arrakis back up, but the problem is that they're going to go before he can take an action. So it's they're probably just going to knock him straight down again.
Can you pick him up and run like you did with?
They're
He
too
was
close.
invisible that time as well.
No, I'll still be invisible, but
Alright.
I think it was because I cast it whilst holding you. I don't know if I get the same.
Yeah, that's the explanation we came up with last time. Yeah.
Yes, because technically, because it's things that I'm carrying. So
Yeah. By the way, if you set light to the oil, it will do 5 points of damage to anyone in the area.
It's crap. How much? Oh, will that kill a goblin? Does that kill a goblin?
No. Unlikely.
All right. So
They're not hard, but they're not that weak.
So I'm right. I'm gonna do something weird. Is it my go?
Oh, for once.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Right. So I look round behind me. See Arrakis passed out on the table again.
A goblin arrow sticking out of his shoulder.
I don't know what's happened to Imnek, but I'm assuming he's not got much left on his invisibility anyway, and he was looking a bit.
If you wake me up, I could incinerate all 3, but that would require cooperation between all 3 of us.
Yeah. So
And
what I'm gonna do is
Visibility.
I think there's a bit more afoot here than young Arrakis. So I'm going to. Can I come into this room without being seen?
Yeah, you are hidden at the moment, and you're on
Yeah.
the ceiling, so they don't know you're on the ceiling.
So I'm going to come into this room and I'm going to slam the door shut and bolt it from the inside.
You must be able to get a stealth attack on at least one of them, surely, because they can't. see
Yeah,
you.
but I'm interested in an old time team here. I reckon there's a bit more. There's a bit
Time
more
team.
going. There's a bit more going on here than
The thing is, I would love to be able to tell you what I think it is, but I'm unconscious, so I can't.
Well, I can't help you, mate.
Just-
So
bear in mind that that's a brightly lit room.
yeah, that's fine. So as soon as I've come, because this guy's not done anything yet, so I'm hoping he's just a bit of a digger.
Light time team, yeah.
Yeah, so I think he's a bit of a time team sort of Henry Jones type fella. So I'm betting he's not going to be too much of a risk. Indy's dad. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to slam that door shut on that goblin's face
Okay.
and bolt it from the inside.
You drop down from the ceiling, slam the door shut, and put the bolt across.
That's it. All right. and I'm
Go.
now stood facing this.
Back
this
to the
dude
door.
here.
Facing this guy, looking a bit perplexed.
What could possibly go wrong here?
Imnek.
I think the best option for me is go 10 feet, just grab Arrakis' limp form and just drag him back out the
Okay.
way. It might confuse them at least for a bit, just seeing him suddenly like sliding along the floor.
So do you want to take a dash action as well?
Do I need to use my action to grab him?
No, because picking up an item is not a
I don't like the term limp when it refers to my form, you know.
Yeah. Hey, you're unconscious. You don't know what I'm referring to you as.
Well, it probably is limp at that point, isn't it?
Yeah. If I can do that and I can dash, then I would definitely get as far as I can down this corridor.
Yeah, off you go then.
So that was 10 feet to get to there. So that will leave me with 50 feet total.
So that point there.
Yep.
Okay, and then Arrakis gets dragged with you.
Yep.
Okay. So at this point, the goblins haven't got a clue what's going on. So this one here starts
How
banging
have
on
you
the
managed
door.
to stay invisible?
Because it's a much better spell than it used to be.
To be honest, I genuinely think that's probably pushing the boundaries of general invisibility.
It genuinely, it is only now attacks and casting spells.
Wow, that's powerful.
Well, it was probably, I think, 2 awkward previously, but hey.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm not complaining, don't get me wrong. It just seems, like you have interacted quite a lot with your surroundings.
Yeah, I to be honest, I was surprised at how...
But taking the letter of the rules, it says the spell ends when the target attacks or casts a spell, and it says picking items up are not an attack or casting a spell. They're not even
I refuse to be classed as an item at this point.
You are an item. You've been.
I have a very heavy item.
Well, I think possibly the compensation is that it's as long as they're kind of aware of roughly where you are, they can still technically attack with disadvantage.
Yeah.
So which I'm not sure if that was really a possibility before.
Yes, they can still attack you. To be fair, that's all he can get to because he was trying to ready attack. So, he's gonna run for it, which means he gets to here, and then has to make a dex save. Is it not?
Yeah.
Yep.
What's anyone remember what the DC is for that?
Right. Can't remember. It was like 13 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He's a 6.
12 or something.
Flat on his ass. So the goblin runs around the corner, hits the ball bearings, and falls flat on his ass.
10. DC 10.
Where we got a 6. So
those ball bearings are like MVP, I think, for this campaign.
He runs to the corner, takes cover by the corner, pulls a crossbow from his back, and tries to make an attack on Imnek because he thinks he thinks something is there.
I think he has reasonable grounds to be suspicious. No.
You think? There's an unconscious, lifeless tiefling just hovering through the air.
It's a poltergeist.
Like basically been, yeah.
However,
his attack wake up and go.
Yeah.
His attack is well wide. Right. This guy here only steps forward once and just kind of puts his arms out wide. I'm like, no, you can't have it. You can't have it.
Is this time team?
Yeah, she's time team.
Time team.
You can't have it. Just leave it be.
Just call him Tony.
I'm gonna have to dig out that guy's name now because that's gonna bug me.
Tony Robinson.
No.
It's not Tony
Phil.
Robinson. The other one.
The West Country guy.
The
Phil,
one
I
looks like
think.
he's been dragged for a hedge backwards.
That's the guy.
Oh,
with the hat.
That's him. Yeah, he's got a hat.
God. Is the guy from
Phil
round here?
Harding. Phil Harding. That's
Oh,
the
him, right,
fella,
okay.
Yeah, hang
Not
loose.
Dick Sawbridge.
No.
No.
Hang loose.
You see, I've not watched Time Team enough to know the characters.
This one here.
Sid.
Right. Okay. So, as I suspect, he's not menacing or threatening in any way at the moment.
No, he's
Right.
very protective. He's kind of
Okay.
guarding at this point.
Kill the goblin, then chat the old boy up. It's
Well,
really.
the goblin's on the wrong side of the door, mate. I slammed the door in the goblin's face.
Yeah, the
Oh, well,
goblin's banging
well.
on the door at this point. Come in!
So I'm
Right,
I'm
chatting up.
gonna have a little mild conversation with Time Team here, and ask him. So you just paid help? No, just helping these people out. As I'm pointing my short bow in as menacing a manner as a short arse can.
Yeah. All in here. All I'm doing is looking after the egg. That's all I'm here for.
Right. So, and the egg. I've heard of the egg. Any more you want to tell me about the egg? You know, the big reveal, end of the show type of reveal here.
Well, just we don't want to get in cold, and we don't want to be around here when it hatches. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I see. All right. So, what else do you do down here? You just looking after the egg?
So you sit on an hatchet.
Okay. And what's through this door up here? Time Team, as I
Sure.
motion my short bow towards the door.
Shitter.
Sure. Oh fuck it. All right.
How dare you put real architecture in your dungeons, sir?
Has he got plumbing as well? And a flush.
So at this point, I realise that this is just an absolute blooming waste of time. Time Team is no threat whatsoever. So
Kill
I
him.
will. Well, I'll say. So you're just keeping the egg warm. Other than that, you don't have any real use around these parts.
Well, that's all I'm here for.
Right. So you're just a glorified Mrs. Doubtfire type thing.
Why is he keeping it
this
warm?
egg.
What's the egg for? What is
Yeah.
it?
What is the egg?
Found it. I did off the glacier.
Yeah, all right. But
Founded.
why are you keeping something that was on the glacier cold, warm?
Oh, because those Ramirez, they like it warm.
Ramirez? Well, as in the guy from Highlander. Oh, Ramirez.
Yes. The Spanish man with an Edinburgh accent.
So was as I know, well, he's caught my attention. Has this guy, and I'm saying Ramirez.
Do a nature check,
Nature.
whatever it is. I can't remember the name.
It is nature. It's
Could be
nature.
It's nature. Yeah, it can be.
Disaster. This is. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Fair enough. There we go.
Yeah.
Got away with that.
Sid knows his Ramirez's.
You've heard rumours of such creatures, mainly as kind of like nightmare fodder for like children north of Waterdeep. There's some kind of like giant insect like creature which lives in snow, and apparently they just eat everything, and they are like red hot.
So they live in the snow, but they have to be they're rod hot.
But they are hot, yeah.
Yeah. So, as I now look at Time Team, you're keeping a creature renowned for living in the snow hot.
You can see this little twinkle in his eye at this point. Oh yeah, see the mother Ramirez is very warm. They got this internal heat. You attack one with a sword, your sword's gonna melt. But that's how they incubate their young. They have some weird thing where they just keep extremely hot. So the young ones, the eggs, they have to be kept hot as well.
Right. So you actually are growing a Ramirez or waiting for Ramirez to hatch in that stove.
Is this still
Yeah.
6 seconds of combat?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a valid point.
Good question. Because I'm having a bit of
Because I want to wake up. If
So,
that's right.
What? Okay, so that's a good point. So what I'm going to do this point, Steve, is I'm going to tie this Joker up, and that's going to be my action.
Well, no, he's going to be like, if you tie him up, he's going to. You're gonna. Well, you'll have to do that on your next action then.
All right. Okay.
Imnek, it is your action.
We must have run half a marathon this time.
You
Seriously.
must be well out by now.
Yeah. I think just pegging it out of the way with limp Arrakis in tow.
Are you able to spring the trap, Imnek?
I don't like that term.
I certainly could, but I think I'd rather.
Okay.
I'm of two minds because he's got. I know that these guys have crossbows. I think I'd rather get out of the way.
Okay.
Right, so you're dragging him there
Yeah.
as well. Right, this goblin here stands up.
See, what needs to happen now is as we leave the cave, Adam needs to turn around, basically walk into the cave, fully healed, double hard, and just go, right, bitches, you're all going to die, and cast some kind of horrific spell. Or hit them with a magic sword. That works.
Arrakis,
That works a lot, actually.
death save, please.
Oh. I was kind of hoping you'd forget about that.
No.
Oh, bloody hell.
That's 2 failures for you there, Mr. Arrakis.
Oh, I'm really sorry. Really sorry
Is
you
that 2
remembered
failures
that.
already?
It is, yes. You roll a
Well, it's
1,
two-
you get 2. And you roll a
Yeah.
20,
Oh,
you
yeah.
get 2.
That's a really good thing that you passed the last one. Because Imnek would feel a bit silly at that point.
Okay, El Cockwind,
Right.
to you.
Okay, so El Cockwind is.
Can people turn off their notifications, please? Because all I can hear in the background is ba-ding, 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 ba-ding.
Okay, so of that goblin still banging on the door outside?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Okay. So and this old time thief just hanging about still, is he?
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Team.
Would opening this door be an action?
No, opening the door would not be an action. No.
So,
Wait, is he actually going to be to take a dump?
well, I'm not convinced it's a shitter. You see, so I'm gonna come.
Please
to
make it a shitter.
I'm
Please
gonna
make
come
it
to
a
this
shitter.
door. And
More
I'm gonna,
enemies.
Just
And
a
I'm gonna-
hole in the ground that leads to a bunch of snow.
and I'm gonna be all cocky, and I'm gonna say, "So a shitter," and fling the door open in some sort of quite triumphant manner, expecting it to be something other than a shitter.
Please be a shitter. Please
So
be a shitter.
there's no light.
With a concierge and with an array of colognes from around the world.
Yeah,
So,
bog troll.
Bog Joe.
Bog
Bug
troll.
troll. So it opens out into this natural cavern.
That's a hell of a shitter.
And I'm just gonna go.
Do you know what? Yeah, you can see all of it, and there's like this hole going further down into it.
I'm just gonna look at. I'm gonna look at Time Team and go, "Geez, you have some big shits."
Well, we did have an ogre in here. Have you seen an ogre shit?
You did have an ogre in here.
Right. Okay.
Fertilize a forest for a month with one of those.
He has a point.
Okay. I'm guessing that's my 6 seconds worth.
Yeah, there you go. Imnek.
2 seconds of dialogue and 4 seconds of pissing yourself.
I'm going to
On fire.
Run.
I'm going to drag his sorry ass another 30 feet, and then as I'm going to take a healing potion out of my pack and just stick it down his throat to stabilize him.
Oh, and wake me up as well. So I can basically, what you can do is, you're going to be my steed now, so I can fling firebolts from a moving platform.
Are you going to be like those guys that sit backwards on Tour de France on the motorbikes?
Yes.
Taking pot
so-
shots this week.
Arrakis gains 9 hit points.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much. Wow, Jesus, really? That's like full whack, innit? Pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a third of my hit points.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Imnek's hoping that this wasn't a waste of a healing potion.
No, it most certainly was not. Does that mean I
Yes.
wake up now?
Are you
Yeah.
expecting one of those
Yeah.
goblins just to crit Arrakis in return as a catch-up or something?
Shut up, you!
It's like nearly a 50% chance he's going to fail his last death save. So yeah.
It doesn't
hey.
matter. I'm awake now. I've got hit points. My
but
hit.
If I
I
hadn't,
see your point. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, good point.
How
We'll
did that-
get rid of them.
How did
Let's
that
find out,
tank get
Adam.
over my ball bearings.
Oh, he
He didn't.
He did.
Well,
He, got over them.
I thought he may go over because he saw the goblin fall over.
No, the goblin. We haven't got to him yet. He hasn't done his dex save yet.
Oh right.
So right, the goblin fires his short bow at Arrakis. Because again.
Oh thank God. Oh, properly moment of declenching there.
Technically, it would be a disadvantage as well because he's prone, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay. It
I'm
doesn't matter.
moving. How can I be prone? That doesn't count. That's
I'm dragging
I've got a
you.
shield,
You're
it doesn't
prone, but
matter.
you're being dragged across the ground. Oh, by the way,
It doesn't matter. I've got a shield. It's
Arrakis,
fine.
your
Fine.
fine clothes are now ruined.
You owe me
Yeah.
a set of clothes, my friend.
To be fair, they were on their arse anyway because you fell in the mud once.
I
You
know.
swam-
I mean,
you
seriously, I
swam
got into a
through
serious
lake.
grump. Somebody owes me a set of clothes. In fact, I'm going to take it on this out of this King Witch. She owes me a set of clothes as well as a rock. Right, this goblin's going to get it.
Okay, and the cultist falls over, falls over and stands up. Basically, that's his entire turn. Arrakis.
Take on the cultist, mate. That's going to cause you more damage, isn't it?
I shall target the goblin.
Okay.
That's about the only thing I can do from being dragged across the floor. Can I even see the goblin, given that table's in the way?
Yeah, you can see it. You'll remember the ogre smashed that table.
Oh, even better. Right. Screw it. Magic missile. That'll probably mess him up. We're going to need a rest after this anyway. Screw it. The goblin dies. Level 1. That's the first bolt of 3, 4. Is it 4?
Okay.
3? Is it 3 bolts,
3,
isn't
I
it?
think,
Level
yeah.
1.
3, yeah, I think so.
So slash
D4 plus 1.
RD4 plus 1 slash RD4 plus 1. So that's a dead goblin.
That's. My video stopped. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know how to restart that. Oh well, never mind. As long as you can hear me.
Boom! Nice.
Right,
The magic missile's good for that. I don't need to roll to hit. Right. I'm good enough to get us out of here now, Imnek. Thank you, my friend. I think I'm good from here.
Cockwind, it's back to you.
Right. So I've now fully 100% convinced myself that Time Team is merely hard help and of no help to anyone right now. So
Good. Kill him.
I'm going to flick this door open here. If I can I do it from there, or do I need to be right next
No,
to
you
it?
need to be right next to it.
So I'm gonna. Hang on, if I go, I'm on the. Can I be on the ceiling and then still use a ranged weapon, or are you going to be disadvantaged if I do that?
No, you're fine because you're slippers.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll be far enough away to not lose disadvantage on with my short bow.
No, you'd still have to. Ooh. How much movement have you got left? What you could do.
Yeah.
This is maybe metagaming a bit, but because you've got your cunning action, you could use your cunning action to dash, open the door, run backwards, and then shoot him.
Okay. So I've used 20 to get to there. So.
Oh, you'd
To
still
be fair,
technically have enough.
I'm happy to move 20 to there, open the door, and dash, and then walk back to there if that works for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You'd have to have the movement to keep 5 foot away from him, even though you'd be on the ceiling, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's fine. So I've dashed. Well, I've walked to here, opened the door, flung it open, stepped back.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna smack him in the face. So do I get advantage on this or
you
not?
get advantage yet because you are you're attacking from a
Surprise, cockfags!
There we go. Smack him with that.
Jeez.
Do I need to
Right.
roll any sneak attack on that?
No, you don't. He's a goblin.
Excellent. So that's me, and then I will use. Can I use my cunning action to slam and bolt the door again?
No, because you have to use that to dash to get the distance you need.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
Okay, Imnek.
Okay.
There's one guy left. Let's
Yeah.
kill him.
I
Adam,
think
Adam, if you want to come back into it, you can come back in now.
Uh,
What do you mean,
do I still have a few more seconds worth of
yeah,
invisibility?
you've got a little bit more invisibility time left.
So I'm just gonna, because I think I'm gonna break it as soon as possible anyway. So I'm gonna dash up to here. I'm gonna sort of keep out of the way of anything that I believe a tiefling might lob down the corridor.
You know me so well, my friend.
Yeah. So I'll dash and just run for there.
How's this dude looking? Is he looking quite well or quite poorly? Or
He's looking all right at the moment.
oh dear. Right.
Okay.
He did the whole like falling over and then quickly getting back up again thing on the ball bearings.
It didn't hurt him, but no, I'm kind of hoping that he's kind of breathing through his arse and he's got more holes in him than a sieve.
His pride is very wounded.
Right. How far is he away from Arrakis at this point?
Oh, far enough. 60 feet.
60 feet. So he does not get a disadvantage for using the heavy crossbow.
Oh.
It misses anyway. She fires a heavy crossbow, which pings close to you.
Is that the best you can do?
All right. Actually, no. What's your armor class?
15.
15. Oh, okay then. That was 12.
Yes,
for some
that's
reason.
very much a miss, sir.
Yes.
And I can assure you, if you had hit me, I'd be adding 5 to it.
Arrakis, it's your action.
Excellent. Right. How far? He's 60 feet away.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. I think it's time for a little fire. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. He's going to get the full force of another Aganazar Scorcher. I have had enough of this. I've had enough of this entourage. That'll do nicely.
Oh, bloody hell.
He's probably not dead from that, but
No, he's not dead from that. Although
sadly, I've run out of sorcery points, so I can't do anything else.
Rather bloodied at this point.
Excellent.
Cockwind,
Imnek,
to you.
all yours, my friend.
So I will. Is Time Team still sort of just chilling his boots over there?
Well, he's kind of he's keeping a beady eye on you.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that you're not moving towards him and the stove with the egg in it means that.
Please tell me he's wearing sandals.
Oh, I hope so.
With socks on.
So, right, would I get sneak attack advantage because Imnek is next to that bad guy?
No, because they're not engaged at this point.
Doesn't matter. I think it's just within 5 feet.
Is it within 5 feet?
I am invisible, so I would think because technically nobody else knows I'm there.
We did mention this
that's
the other day.
probably
It's engagement, but it's 5 feet, so I do think you don't get advantage on the attack, but you will get your sneak attack damage.
Okay.
That's very generous.
No, I think that's the rules as written.
Yeah.
No, I don't disagree. It just seems a bit wrong.
Yeah.
That's twice I've now been on the side of the bad guys, the same bad guys that have really messed me up. But still,
I'm more than happy for him to have the extra damage, but I'm just thinking because Cockwind doesn't know I'm there and kind of like
exactly, yeah.
Another enemy of the target is within 5 feet.
Yeah.
And you're not incapacitated, and Cockwind doesn't have disadvantage, so it should be fine.
Yeah.
Yep. Rules as written, perfectly fine.
Rules as written, a bit iffy, but we'll go with it. Right. So.
We'll just assume that I like stick my foot out and trip him as he goes past.
Poke him in the eye or something.
Yeah.
So I'm going to dash.
Paper bag, bang.
I'm going to dash to there.
Slap him.
Mm-hmm.
If you steal this kill, I'll be upset.
So that's there, isn't it? That's that 50 feet where I've just gone.
Yes. Yeah, 55 was.
That was 55 there, so 50 there. Is that give? Can I see him from there?
You can see him from there. Yeah.
Right.
Looks
Okay.
like it, yeah.
So I'm going to drop the short bow on him. Where's it? Oh, sorry, take the first one, Steve.
Yeah, it's the first one. The first one's a hit. And you get your sneak attack damage.
Get me R2d6. Drop
You
him
have
for that.
indeed stolen Arrakis' kill.
You bastard!
As
You
I now,
utter bastard!
peeking around the corner of the door, doff my cap towards the pissed off tiefling. Another one you owe me, my friend.
I believe you owe me.
Right. Is that it? Have we got away with that?
I want
Somehow?
to talk to this time team.
Maybe.
Adam, you can rejoin the team now if you want.
You sort of the guy at my feet. You see the
Is
sort
there
of the
anything I
shadows
can do?
dissipate, and Imnek steps back in.
Oh, very nice. Oh, good of you to join us, sir. As I stroll past.
Yeah.
As if nothing has happened. The supreme arrogance of this tiefling is unbelievable.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna go and move back into this room here, where the thug was chilling with his on the desk, and adopt the position, find a pint of ale, and watch the show.
Okay.
Imnek will recast his. Will draw on his fiendish vigor for false life again.
That sounds good.
Okay.
I've got 9 hit points. That's plenty.
Adam, I'm assuming you were rejoining them in there as well.
Might as well, I guess. No, I'm not sure there's anything.
Don't
left
feel
to do there.
obliged. I mean, it's where the action is.
I reckon
Is
we should.
there?
We
There's
should
a
bring
shitty
Time
egg
with
there,
us.
which I don't really want a whole lot to do with.
Well, you are the druid, so you might know what this thing is.
That's true, actually. Yeah, we need your natural tendencies.
My nature skill of +0.
Fine, sit outside. Stay in the car.
How does the druid even manage that?
That's true. How does that work?
Because my casting stat is wisdom and nature is intelligence skill.
Well, that's a bit silly.
Proficiency
No,
+2.
I'm not proficient in nature.
Okay,
It's
so
a bit
you all
of
kind of
anyway.
storm into this room, and this guy's now starting to look a bit twitchy again. Again, he since you came in and killed everyone, he's been remaining a little bit kind of twitchy and staying where he is. It's like, right then.
So I'm
Can I just
gonna
point out
introduce.
for the
I'm
champion.
standing well back from that
This
egg.
is how you kick ass, bitches.
Yeah, so I'm gonna introduce my my fellow adventurers to my man Time Team here. Say, this is Time Team. He's got a Ramirez.
Basically, Arrakis has stormed into this room with fire in his hands and a very, very horrible look on his face.
And I'm just gonna chill your beans, Arrakis. Time Team's on our side, aren't you? Time Team, you're gonna help us out with this Ramirez thingy you keep wittering about.
Depends what you mean by help you out, doesn't it?
Well, you know, we didn't kill you, therefore you owe us one. And old tiefling here, he's itching. I kept making a couple of kills. He's not in a bad mood. Don't think you want to cross him. Really.
He's looking a little bit twitchy at this point.
At the end of the day, you're just paid help, looking after the egg. We just won't pay you when you can help us. Jobs are good, and really.
It's my egg.
Change your management. That's all I'm saying.
What is it and what is it for?
He said it was a Ramirez Arrakis.
It's a Ramirez.
Why is it here?
Well, me and Davrick Fane, we're going to grow it and train it. And, well, with Orwell's blessing, we'll unleash it on 10 towns.
Why?
Well, chaos and confusion. That's what Orwell's wish is.
Oral has crossed me once today already. And I'll start to beckon to his throat.
Boy,
why
careful,
should I let
careful.
this live?
Because I want to find out why he's got a chuffing great big hole that he calls a shitter in the back room.
Well, let's find out what's down there. And I'll grab his throat and drag him through this door.
Hey, wait, mind his egg. Mind his egg. We don't want anything sneaking up behind us. I'm going to tend the fire while Arrakis is doing this. And
I'm
keep
going
the
to
egg hot.
drag him all the way to this
Okay.
hole.
So, Cockwind, you open up like the stove, and inside like a cooking pot, is like this soft-shelled egg about the size of a basketball.
Okay.
Destroy it.
And you can just see something like what looks like a centipede kind of just wriggling around inside its translucent soft shell.
So all I'm going to do for now is just make sure that fire keeps on burning until we find out a bit more from Arrakis' interrogation technique.
Can Imnek try a nature check to see if he's heard of this creature?
Yeah. Right, you have heard of these things, and you are from a northern area, so you are well aware of these creatures. They are like a giant centipede-like creature, and I mean giant. These things are huge. Basically, for most people, for most barbarians, there's two things which give them the absolute shits: white dragons and Ramirez.
Right.
So these things are absolutely huge centipede-like creatures which just eat and eat and eat. They've got no intelligence. They're just pure devourers.
Just predator.
But they kind of they burn with this kind of internal heat.
Mm-hmm.
So they're known to like just plow through glaciers due to the heat, or you know, when anyone attacks with a metal weapon, a metal weapon can melt in their hands.
Sort of thinking this, and would he know how dangerous a juvenile might be?
He knows that these things are absolutely massive, and he can see this egg's about this big.
Yeah.
Just kill it.
Yes, Imnek is. He's gonna. Are there tools to like take the pot out?
Yeah, there's like oven gloves and there's like rods to go into the pot and lift it out.
Yeah. Yes, he is. He is going to remove it from the fire.
I stand out of Imnek's way, having learnt that he knows stuff about shit like this.
I sort of says, Cockwind, we do not want to risk this hatching. This is a monster we must destroy.
I bow and move out of his way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Arrakis drags this guy over to the shit pit, and it is quite literally a shit pit. This is a hole in the floor which goes down into a cavern below, but it looks like everyone's just chucked all their rubbish and shit down here. So you can see there's rotten food, there's bones, there's all kinds of crap down there, basically.
Good. Sorry. Do apologise. Chandling a little bit of Uncle Finny there.
Here, time team, how do we get rid of this egg, mate?
We destroy it. Irrelevant. What's it for? Why are you sacrificing it? Why are you bringing it here for Arl? Why? Why side with her?
Her? She's the goddess of winter, that's why.
There are many gods in this world. Why her? Why 10 towns?
Snucker snobs, 10 towns. Look down at me. I'll show him.
Show them
there
what?
he is. Reacher, look at him. The
Reach.
Wild man of the woods.
That's it's revenge you want. Who's been saying that?
Those posh folks in Bryn Shander.
Ah, yes. I remember those.
They'd never survive out one day out in the winter out here.
No, they would not. That's why they built a town, so they don't have to. Tell me, my friend, do you know the Arcane Brotherhood?
No, can't say I've heard of them.
Then you are of no use to me.
Would this guy fit in more with the barbarians?
He is obviously a southerner, so he's not a barbarian. He doesn't have the kind of like racial characteristics of the barbarians. So he looks like he's probably someone who's come from south of the spine of the world.
When you say southerner, is this like someone from Carlisle saying someone from Penrith is a southerner?
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
He's like an extremist survivalist, I guess.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you know where Auril is?
Oh no! Deverick did say she's somewhere in the somewhere in Sea of Moving Ice.
Who's
That's a very
Deverick?
big place.
Deverick. Oh, he's my associate.
Is that
Where is he?
hooded fella that was having a bit of a go with our man over here?
Oh no, Deverick's much cleverer than him.
I suspect a few bricks knocked together are cleverer than him. Deverick.
So,
Deverick.
hang
We've
on.
heard of him. I've heard of him. I'm sure I've
Dev-
heard of him.
Deverick Fane. Have you heard of him?
No, we
I
haven't.
don't think we have.
No.
I don't
Who's
think so.
Deverick? Where does he reside? And at this point, I'm going to just start holding him over this pit. I think it's probably fair if I did another strength check. That'll do.
Yes.
Sorry, that's a save, not a check, but it's still a D20. So
Yeah. He owns one of the stores over in Bremen. He was going to leads the cult over there.
the
He was gonna
cult.
come over. Cult of
Ah.
Auro.
Is that Joker we met on our way here, who's running up?
No, he was the Arcane Brotherhood.
Was he Arcane Brotherhood? Wasn't he?
Yes, I want to talk to them. I have a feeling the Arcane Brotherhood may be the people to help us. He says with a glint in his eye.
Right, Arrakis, put that fool down. Let's get rid of this egg.
With pleasure, and I'll just
Bring
let
him.
him go.
Bring him with us. Not quite what I meant.
Okay.
Have you actually dropped him down the pit?
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
How deep is that pit?
I'll just walk off.
I hope it's going to be quite a shallow pit now that we just scoop him out of.
It'd be a soft landing at least.
No, it's quite a deep pit.
Oh, okay.
And ooh, it looks like he broke a leg down there as well. He's still
No.
alive. It's a bit like that scene in
Oh, in Austin Powers.
Austin Powers. I'm still alive.
Right.
It
I'm
puts the
very badly
lotion.
wounded.
It puts the lotion on its skin.
Right. Okay. So, I'm going to shout down to this Reacher fella now that we know his name. But I'm still going to call him Time Team because I want to annoy him.
I suspect he's probably plenty annoyed that being chucked down a pit of shite.
Right, Time Team. You can see what the Moy's up to. I think you might be mildly useful. I'm going to throw you a rope. I suggest you come with us, and you take us to this Deverick fella.
You
I
might as well
suggest
leave
you
me to
leave him
die
there.
now.
Oh, if you want us to leave, yes, that's fine by me. I was offering you a hand.
You've killed the egg, haven't you? I
Have we
know.
done-
I can see it in your eyes.
Have we killed the egg yet?
Well,
Not just yet.
oh.
Have we done it?
As
No.
long
You
as
haven't
it's
given me
not
a chance.
resilient to anything.
Yes, we have.
You can see his a little. You know whether it's from the wince of the pain of his that he's just felt, or whether it's sadness that you killed his egg. But you can almost see his eyes watering in the darkness. Go, leave me. Let me just die.
Does this rubbish look flammable?
Might be.
Let's find out.
Hang on. Just chill your. So I put my hand out to Arrakis, and I say just a sec.
Do not test me.
I'm not testing you. I'm going to ask the fool where this Deverick guy is and whether we can get to him. So I turn around to reach her right. So Deverick runs a store in Bremen. Where is he now? What's his deal in this whole thing?
Make an intimidation check.
Can I get advantage because I've got the fire-breathing
Yeah,
nutter behind me?
Go on, I'll give you advantage because you've already broken his.
Broken his
It's-
leg. Oh, not great.
Why should I tell you?
Because if you don't tell me, this clown.
Because
next
if
to
you
me-
don't tell him, I will incinerate you.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
You'll find Davrick in Bremen. That's all I'll tell you. It's only a town of 4 houses. You should find him no problem.
Excellent.
And,
Thank you.
and what's his role in all of this? What is he trying to do with these eggs that you feel so
Apart from
attached to?
Hedron, he's second only to Hedron in their Arl's cult. He's a visionary.
Visionary? A visionary of what?
Death and destruction in Arl's name. Chaos.
So mad bastard then.
Soon you'll all be dead.
Well, you'll be
Can I
first.
please finish this man off?
Yeah, crack on, chappies. We're done here.
Excellent.
I'm not even going to limit your roll for that.
You are going to?
No.
Okay, good.
Just seeing at the edge, just stay still.
Well, I'm quite happy just letting I'm quite happy just letting the rubbish burn and consume him. Arrakis is not in a good mood at this point in time.
Right.
I suggest we take this egg.
I thought we killed the egg.
I don't think we had.
Well,
No, you're
technically,
taking it off
you
the fire.
you cut to you guys before I had a
Yeah,
chance
no,
to
no,
go.
Imnek has not
Imnek-
killed it yet.
Imnek
Well, we don't know what Imnek's done with it. Let's put it that
Yeah.
way.
Imnek is taking it off the fire. That's all we know at this point.
So as Arrakis comes back into the room, I'm going to say, did you have to set the shitter on fire? Fucking stinks
Yes.
in here now.
Well, I suggest we close the door.
Bloody good idea.
Slam
You
it
do that.
behind
Don't
me.
let it hit you on the way out. There we go.
Ooh! I'll just shove Cockwind as I walk past him to here. Bang.
Right, over to you, Imnek.
While they're doing that, Imnek would have sort of taken the egg away from the fire and just set it down and get his sword and just smashes down on it just to make sure he slices through the centipede thing he can see in the middle
There's
of
a
it.
small
Yeah.
squeak noise.
I'll
as
just
the
kind of
grumbly
go
inside it. Like,
I was about to say, do you know what, mate? It doesn't matter.
you have to clear the goo off your sword now.
It's be like a, it would be what's it called again?
Ramirez.
The Ramirez, yeah. It's a Ramirez. And there is no good will come of leaving this thing alive.
I can't say I disagree with you, sir, but I was hoping to use it as a bargaining chip. But you know what? Never mind. Let's just use brute force.
They don't have to know that it is destroyed.
Bring
An
the
excellent point.
Bring the bits with us. They might prove handy.
The bits.
Well, the husk, the cut in half bitness of it all. So I'm going to grab them. I'm going to grab the two halves.
Seriously, is there anything
Ramirez.
you will not pick up?
I'm a hoarder.
I think we need to have words.
So I'm going
You should tell him he hasn't checked the bodies yet.
I'm getting there. Don't
I'll
worry.
let you do that. With that, I'm just Arrakis is going to just walk out in a huff.
Mm-hmm.
Not a huff, not at his party members. Just pissed that he's lost his rock.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm gonna grab the cut in half Ramirez, just in case.
Okay.
And I'm going to ignore Imnek and his point at me robbing bodies because they all look a bit poor anyway. And it smells too much of shit in here, so I'm going to cheese it.
Shut the door! It can't be that bad.
Oh, mate, you set a fucking toilet on fire. It's
There
not
is
going to smell nice in there.
Potentially that, yes.
Seeing Cockwind leaving without checking the bodies, Imnek will be slightly surprised and confused for a moment, and then we'll rifle through the priest's body just in case he looked important. He might have something important on him. Hey, maybe this is how we find good stuff for the rest of us. We insult Sid's honor or something so that he doesn't rob the bodies and leave them
Sid
for us.
doesn't have any honour.
No honor, mate. No honor.
Sorry.
Just offend my sense of smell.
Yeah. Oh, well, I have prestidigitation to do that.
There you go.
Just hold my hand underneath your nose all the time. Just let off horrible smells.
It's because I'm like, it's because I'm lugging this giant bag of gold around with me still. Somehow I don't know how I'm not be. Like,
You
dropped
find
bits of it.
a little pouch with 9 silver pieces on him.
That's disappointing.
Is that it?
Yeah, but you got to admit that Cockwind is dragging this sack around, which
Yeah.
jingles like clink clink.
That's true.
I just wondering if you had any sort of like items on or anything, but I'll pocket.
Arrakis is
Imnek
just
will
going
pocket
to
the silver.
Yeah,
just
there's
going
like
to look over his shoulder at this sack.
there's a holy symbol in the shape of Arl's snowflake.
Oh, Imnek will put his sword through it.
Nice. The butt of the sword, obviously.
I'm thinking that the point would probably do it.
Nice.
It's a magic weapon.
Yeah, okay, whatever. That might work too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, as we walk out, presumably we're going to have a bit of a chill pill somewhere down here, are we? And have a
do
bit
with
of a
a bit.
rest.
I'm not going to lie to you. Arrakis is not feeling his best right now.
So, can I investigate my bag of bits?
Your bag of bits. Yes, you can.
Yeah, let's kind of like regroup in here or something. And
Yeah, have a short rest.
yeah, or maybe even a long rest.
Probably could do with a long rest right now, couldn't we?
It depends what time of the day it is, I guess. I think it was relatively early in the day, wasn't it? Or it might have taken us a while to get up here.
I honestly can't remember what time of day it was. I thought it was
I thought it was quite late, but
I thought it was quite late, so it's getting dark outside now.
Yeah.
That was my recollection.
Yeah, because we spent most of the day travelling up the bloody mountain because it was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon when we got to the base.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think
you're
it's time
halfway up the
for a
mountain
long
at this point.
rest.
Let's set
Okay
out
then, gents.
delightful bunks.
So during the long rest, Cockwind counts out the particularly large sack of coinage, and counts is there for some time because he counts out 2,360 silver pieces.
2,000. Bloody hellfire! 2,360.
How are you going to get that down the mountain without some kind of steed?
I might need one of you big fuckers to carry it for me.
328 gold pieces.
Okay.
You can keep all of this. I'm not carrying any of it.
And 5 gemstones, which you think are worth about 10 gold pieces each.
Okay. So I'm just going to convert those to 50 gold pieces. Make life easy.
Okay.
Okay, and while I'm also on this rest, can I investigate this deck of cards?
It's a normal deck of cards, but after a bit of checking, it does look like it's a stacked deck. Like there's marks on them in some way, so it's a marked deck. After you pilfering through the other cultist pockets, you find nothing. So it looks like this.
Now that sounds like the sort of thing that I could make very good use of.
So I as I'm rifling through the marked deck, I go, "This is no good to me. I've got better stuff than this," and toss it to Arrakis, saying, "There's for the amateurs among us."
Amateurs, sir. It's the really skilled for those who take the money without even trying, and I'll throw in 5 gold coins for it.
Yeah, because I'm shy of cash right now.
Yeah.
Right then, gents. If
you
you're
can
taking a
owe me.
long rest, I suggest we call it there for the night.
Sounds good.
Sounds good, mate.
So,
Do you know
when
what?
you
God
come
damn
back
it.
from your rest, you will be level 5.
Hurrah!
Finally.
Do you know what? I should have re-rolled my wisdom check when I failed my whole person because I've still got a fucking inspiration.
Oh, yeah,
No, I
I've
think
still got
you-
one of those cutting around as well.
I think you remembered that at the time, actually, but it was too late by the time you remembered.
Yeah, technically
don't
you are
know.
supposed to call it before you roll.
Yes, that's fair enough.
Technically you are.
Either way.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting I've got it. But never mind.
Right
Level
then.
5. Hello, more fire.
So if John
Third
is
level
organising
spells.
the stream,
John is
we should say
benevolently
goodbye to everyone
listening in.
watching.
Yeah.
Good evening, good night.
And hopefully we should be back in a couple of weeks with you guys.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Mm.
Hey, you owe us an extra session.
Technically I do, yeah, because you guys have been level 5 for 2 weeks now.
Yes, Steve. Slacking on us. That's
Well,
favouritism, that is.
We gave one up so they could have an extra one.
True.
It sounds to me like
And
you
then-
guys are the
and
ones
then
that are
Rory
slacking.
looks like Rory's going to be back anyway.
Yeah.
So, right, if Mr. Cage is listening,
I am, of
oh, he's
course.
turned his
Yeah.
mute up. Hey, right then, we shall see everyone soon.
Yes.
We should be back in a
Yes.
couple of weeks.
Good night,
Good night.
all.
Good night, all.
Zatty
Thank you,
bye.
Steve.
Yes. Thank you.